Hi everyone, it's Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Today I'm taking this cross which I've wrapped in this bling ribbon, and I'm going to add these yellow lilies right into the center. And this foam, they come from Dollar Tree in that circular shape. I've sliced it in half so it won't be so thick. And I'm going to attach that to my cross using these pipe cleaners, and I'm just coming from the different angles, wrapping it around and twisting it tight, and then I'm going to come from the other way so it'll be locked in by crossing these pipe cleaners. So again, I'm Kay of Kay's Creative Home. Welcome, and if this is your first time, we're so happy to have you here with us today. So once I get this styrofoam secured, the next thing I need to do is to cut up my greenery, and that's because I'm working in a small area. I don't need a whole or a big piece, and this greenery came on a big bush, so I'm cutting it into pieces. Found this at we had a Joann's go out of business, well, I think it was last year in my area. They said they lost their lease and was looking for another one in that area, so hopefully they'll reopen in that area again soon. So what I did was cut it into smaller pieces, and I'm going to first take leaves and attach them to my styrofoam with glue so that they will cover the outer circular edge of my styrofoam. So when you're looking at the cross, you won't be seeing that foam. So what I did was first glued that little stem to the styrofoam, and then I'm taking about an inch piece of wire, making it into a U shape just by bending it in half and clipping it down, clipping the stem of the flower down by placing it over like it's a stapler, holding that stem down. So I'm going to go ahead and do that some more so that I work my way all the way around that styrofoam, covering the outer edge. In the end, when I went to check, I discovered that I did not do such a good job of covering it completely, and I had to go back in. You'll see that later. Try to make sure you lift it up and look from all angles when you're starting so that you don't have to do it later, because it's hard to see, it's hard to work with, and I ended up giving myself a really good burn trying to hold those leaves down, and I couldn't really see what I was doing. So again, put your greenery or your moss or something, whatever when you're doing this type of thing with that styrofoam, whatever you choose to cover it with, check it from all angles. Make sure you get it covered nice and well so that you don't end up having to go back and do it again or work on that again. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is to begin adding our flowers. So I had a bunch of lilies and I cut them, and the stems are still a little too long, so I think I ended up with about maybe 3 inches, maybe 4. But I basically just held the flower next to the cross to try to see how high I needed it to be, and then making sure it doesn't go, which it did, went straight through the styrofoam and was coming out the other side. And that would not have been a problem because it still wouldn't have gone far enough to like scratch your door. But I wanted to make sure it was all of the back end was still within the styrofoam, or else I would have gone to the back side and clipped it off. So what I'm going to do is, well, what I've already done is put a flower right in the center, and then I'm going to put a flower all 4 angles of this cross. So everywhere one arm of the cross meets the next part, I'm adding a flower, and you can see behind there I'm clipping the stems to make them all about the same length. So when I put it in this styrofoam, they'll have the same height out from the cross. So yeah, I'm showing you each little corner there is where I'm kind of putting a flower to start. And I'm putting it in the center one is like straight up. The other ones are at an angle, kind of coming out toward the corner, so that I'll get a nice rounded effect when I'm done. Again, you see me cutting that flower, making sure that stem isn't too long. And I'm also adding a little bit of glue and just sticking it into the styrofoam, trying to make sure it gets in there so that, again, like I said, it's about the same height as the other one. And I'm getting a nice curved effect on the top. Now, if you're enjoying the video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. And if you're not a family member already, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell, and you'll be notified when new videos are released. So what I'm doing now is going back and cutting some more greenery. And the tip where I cut this had a rounded edge. I don't know if you noticed on some of your greenery at different points it's like a little bubble knot. And I needed some of that wire sticking out. I needed to have a pointed edge so it could go down into the styrofoam. So I'm just kind of trimming away that plastic all the way around the wire, cutting into the plastic, trying not to cut the wire. So I just kind of worked my way back and forth until I got that wire point visible at the bottom. So now I'm going to just add my glue and continue to just fill in all the way around my little bouquet there, making sure that that styrofoam is no longer visible if you look, into the flowers. And like I said, I'm just going to work my way around doing that. Add a little bit of glue, making sure that once it goes into that styrofoam, it's not coming back out. And this greenery is going down low beneath the florals, the lilies, because I want it to fill in so that, like I said, when there's a gap between the lilies, you don't see that styrofoam. All right, so I'm going to continue working my way around this. And then the next thing the cross. The cross is covered in that just bling wrap. And I didn't put that on the video because I basically just kind of glued it around the edges. And then when I finish adding all my flowers, I'm going to put some felt on the back or something on the back. So that's going to make sure it gets held securely. Now what I'm doing here is I took a longer branch of the greenery and I'm putting it into the styrofoam at the bottom so that I get a nice draping effect with the greenery hanging down on that bottom end of the cross since it's so long. Yeah, and I just wanted to kind of have that filler there. Nice draping effect. So you see now I've sped up the video because I'm just again filling in. So what ends up happening though is, you see I'm going back for more greenery, but I'll talk about it while I do this. What ends up happening is that even after I put in all of this greenery, I was not happy with I'll call it my little bouquet of flowers on the center of the cross. I thought it was still just a little too sparse. So I go back and I get another bush of flowers and I cut them again, trying to get that length about right so I don't have to keep cutting it 2 and 3 times. And I decided to add 4 more flowers before I put it in the corners. Now this time I'm going to put it like in between those. So on each arm of the cross and then the top and bottom of the cross, there's going to be a flower right in that area. So this one is like what I'm putting in now, excuse me, is centered right with the bottom of the cross. If you can kind of see how that makes sense, right where my hand is, it's pointing down toward the bottom. So the next one I'm putting in is going to go toward the arm of the cross. And again, each time I'm sticking it in at an angle so that it comes out at you. And in the end, I'll get a nice like rounded bouquet. So going to continue working my way around and getting 4 of those flowers inserted. So let's see, what else can we talk about while I do that. Oh, someone said something about my craft room. You can't really see it in the angle I have right here. And I'm going to because it's a mess. And I'm trying to do more of a close-up in this video because it's a mess. But I just got my ribbon from Sam's Club, and behind me I have it all over the place trying to find places to store it on my racks. I am going to be selling some of my ribbon, and I'll start to say when I post things in my Etsy shop. I'll probably make community posts here on YouTube, so you'll know when I'm doing that. So this is what we have, this nice little cross here with these florals and this greenery. Now this is where I go back and notice that still some of that styrofoam is showing. So I'm going to clip this leaf like almost in half because I just need to glue it around that greenery. You won't see the leaf, you'll just see some green peeking through. And this is where I also burned myself really good because I couldn't really see what I was doing. So try to get that greenery covered when you first start out. What I was saying about the ribbon, I'm in the process of storing my ribbon behind me and making room for it on the racks. I'm going to be selling some of my ribbon because I have too much of some of it. Some of the rolls I didn't use as quickly as I thought I would. So I'm going to be selling some of it, and I'm going to be selling it at some, I think, relatively good prices because I want to get rid of my overstock. I guess I'll call it that. And I'll be, like I said, posting some of that. Hopefully I'll even get some of that done tomorrow. Well, by the time this video goes up. Yeah, there it is. Got myself real good. I thought that cut that out of the video. But yeah, that's what happens when you really burn yourself. So anyway, by the time this video goes live, you can go to my Etsy shop, which is KaysCreativeHome, same name, and you'll see some of the things I've posted, trying to get rid of overstock. Okay, so let's see what else is going on. This craft room is actually my living room. I share a home with my mom, and so it just wasn't enough space in my area or my floor to really a room big enough to hold everything. So I had some in this room, some in that room, and I decided that I wanted it all together. I wanted it all visible because I'm one of those people, if I don't see it, it doesn't exist. And then I end up with 2 and 3 of the same things. So I put everything in this room. Once I finish really getting a little better organized, I'll kind of show you how I have things set up. Right now you see on one side there's still some silver from Christmas flowers, things I still kind of want to get organized and put away. It may end up staying there. So I'm finishing my greenery around the edges. I am about to finish this up, and I can show you what the cross is looking like after I get rid of a few glue strings. Of course, you can't really get the bling here. It's so pretty. But let's share some pictures and what it would look like on your door. And I thank you for spending this time with me. And I'll be talking with you again real soon.